What a weekend. What a surreal weekend. There's a lot to unpack here. Of course, the President and the First Lady both tested positive for COVID-19. Then all weekend long, people were confused about what was going on with Donald Trump. So in that sense, yes, it was like a normal weekend. But, I mean, Reg, I'm keen to get your thoughts on this weekend. And there he is, speaking for the nation. I actually couldn't sum it up better myself than that. I really couldn't. At one point over the weekend, it came out that President Trump had been put on oxygen, which is obviously concerning. Here's one of his doctors trying to explain why they didn't mention that important fact earlier.
I was trying to reflect the upbeat attitude that the team, the president, that his course of illness has had. I didn't want to give any information that might steer the course of illness in another direction.
I don't understand. Is the doctor worried that coronavirus is listening to this briefing? Nobody should trust that man as a physician. But I tell you what, he would absolutely crush as someone's hot dad on Riverdale. Wouldn't he? Now, here's my question about this physician. This is my first time living in the United States where there's been an unwell president. Ian, does he wear that jacket all the time, or does he only put it on when the president is unwell?
I have no idea. It's gigantic. That patch is huge. It looks like a bootleg he bought on an Instagram ad.
Like, does he sew it himself? Is it hanging in a place they're like, what? He's being airlifted in now? Get my jacket! Get my jacket! Meanwhile, over the weekend, the White House tried to keep everybody calm by releasing photos of the president in the hospital as proof that he was healthy and hard at work. But here's the thing, a lot of people on Twitter noticed that the piece of paper that he's signing actually appears to be blank. Now, people were mocking this online, which made Trump furious at his staffers. He was like, you guys told me these were military contracts written in invisible ink. Then yesterday afternoon, Trump did something odd. I know, surprise. He decided to go for a drive around the hospital so that he could wave at his supporters. Here he is here. I hope you also love getting COVID. Secret Service agents aimlessly drove Trump around the block. And I get it, I do. I thought about this, and I understand what's going on here, because when my son was a baby, sometimes when he couldn't sleep, we'd put him in the car and I'd drive around the block to make him go off to sleep. And I think that's what's going on here. And then they're like, Mr. President, you have to rest. He's like, I can't, it looks weak. They're like, oh, there's a rally outside. That'll drop him off. You keep waving, buddy. He's like... Although Trump's stunt didn't go over well with everyone, with some people voicing concerns for the driver and Secret Service agents in that vehicle. One physician tweeted, the risk of COVID-19 transmission inside is as high as it gets outside of medical procedures. The irresponsibility is astounding. Even worse, at the end of the ride, Trump only gave his driver 3-star. Then he gave him a 3-star rating. Which is bad news, it means that guy can't drive a Lux anymore. But Trump's not the only one dealing with the virus. All told, more than a dozen administration officials and Republican leaders were diagnosed with the virus over the past few days. Here they are here. That list reads like a who's who of people you desperately want to avoid at a cocktail party. More than a dozen prominent Republicans tested positive for the coronavirus over the weekend. The craziest part about all of this is that they all got it by going to a party at Logan Paul's house. This morning, it was also announced that Trump's press secretary, Kayleigh McEnany, also tested positive for COVID-19, or, as she reported it to the press, tested negative. Trump immediately offered her advice on how to fight the virus. He was like, have your driver just take you around the block in a mini parade. Does wonders. Even after Trump had been diagnosed, McEnany continued to speak to reporters without wearing a mask, which makes sense since going viral while attacking the press is kind of her thing. I like saying her name, McEnany. McEnany. McEnany.
Macadamia nuts.
Yeah, McEnany. It's perfect. Hey, McEnany. Watch me, Mark. Watch me, Nanny. Watch me. And that's it. That's all that's happened today. I'm kidding. There's so much more. I think it's important that we all take a slight intermission, isn't it? Trump then announced that he would be leaving the hospital. The only way that Trump announces anything on Twitter. He wrote, I will be leaving the Great Walter Reed Medical Center today at 6:30 p.m. feeling really good. Don't be afraid of COVID. Don't let it dominate your life. We have developed under the Trump administration some really great drugs and knowledge. I feel better than I did 20 years ago. To be fair, only someone on really great drugs would think that leaving the hospital today is a good idea. Are we certain the doctors haven't just given him cocaine by accident? He's like, you guys, we got some really great drugs. I got a lot of knowledge. I tell you, I'm trying about 20 years younger, aren't I? I want to get out there, come on. Well, crank me up some white junk. Whoa, well, let's drive around the block again. Let's go.
Oh, my Lord.
But Trump apparently had support from his full medical team to leave the hospital. Later today, they held yet another press conference fielding questions about the decision. Have a look.
Anybody on this medical team who recommended against the president leaving here and going back to the White House today? Or any White House staff?
No.
That's the confidence you want from a doctor.
No.
What do you guys think? That video basically looks like a team at work when your boss asks if anyone has a problem staying late tonight. They're like, anyone got a problem staying late? Just say now. And people are like, not a problem. Sounds great. More than happy to do it. Although, of course, they want Trump to leave the hospital, if only to stop them doing these press briefings. There's like 15 doctors out there. They're like, we got some really sick people in there, and every 4 hours I have to come out here and stand behind you and make the entire situation worse. Trump's doctor was then called to address the question of the president's mental stability. Here's what he had to say.
His mental status, can you talk to about whether he has any neurological symptoms? Does he have any side effects from his medications? Any fogginess from the virus?
No, I think you've seen the videos and now the tweets, and you'll see him shortly. You know, he's back. Yeah.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, no, we've seen the videos and the tweets. That's why we're asking this question. But he's right, because Trump is back, okay? This just happened. President Trump was officially released from the hospital, and as soon as he got to the White House, he took off his mask and struck a pose. Take a look. When you watch that, it does look like the drama of the moment really took Trump's breath away. Oh, that's probably the coronavirus. The first thing he did after being in the hospital for 4 days with a highly contagious virus was take his mask off. That's like swinging through a Carl's Jr. on your way home from a triple bypass. At one point, he stood on the steps of the White House saluting for the cameras. Look at this. Never served a day in the military. Know what I mean? Bone spurs, buddy. He held that salute for a full 23 seconds. Or 1 second for every person he's infected with COVID.
Yes.
And as if that's not enough to wrap up this weekend of news, there's more. I'm kidding. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's all the news we've got at this point in the show. That's the lot, you know? But then we tape this at, like, what time is it? What's the time, Reg?
It's 5:05.
Yeah, so we tape this at 5:05. It airs at 12:37 a.m. Who knows what could happen in the next 7 hours? But we've done it. You're up to date. All right.